Today we're going to talk about how I clean my gun. It ain't how you clean your gun. This is how I clean my gun. Disclaimer, I'm not liable for any nonsense that you do at home. This is how I do it, but you're going to want to read your manual. But with that out of the way, we're going to talk about cleaning a handgun. All right, so before you get started cleaning your gun, you want to be aware of the safety factors. No live ammunition around. This is a big part of where people get caught up. They're taking their gun apart because a lot of times taking your gun apart requires you to press the trigger. So they assume the gun is empty instead of loaded, which is rule number one. Every gun's loaded. Even when you check and it's unloaded, you still perceive it as being loaded. So no ammo around here, no nothing. Check, double check, triple check, and keep checking. All right, so I'm about to start touching these internal parts of the gun. There's a lot of lead on this because I've been shooting it. If you are only going to the range, once or twice a year, you should train more, but you don't have to worry about lead like that. If you go to the range a lot, like me, I'm in there, 5 days out of the week, then you especially want to be safe when it comes to lead and not getting lead poisoning. So I have my gloves here, just some latex gloves. You put those on whenever you're cleaning your gun because that lead is going to get on your hands and it's going to seep into your pores, get into your bloodstream. You don't want to die, especially from lead poisoning. Great. All right, so gloves are on. You can think about this in 2 steps. There's just 2 steps to this. First step is I want to cover everything with the gun bore solvent. I have gun bore solvent from Hops number 9, whatever gun bore solvent you have. Great, man, nobody cares. There are different levels and different quality, whatever, but I've been using this stuff forever. I get the Hops number 9 solvent and the gun lube Hops number 9 bundled together for like 15 bucks, brand new on eBay. Like just use whatever works for you. And I'm going to put this on the frame. I'm gonna cover the frame with gun bore solvent. I'm gonna cover the slide and the barrel all with gun bore solvent, the inside of the barrel and the outside of the barrel. So I'm gonna get my patches here and I'm gonna put it on a patch. Just dip a little bit of solvent on the patch, boom. And then I'm going to start with the barrel. So I'm going to put this patch through this tool here. This tool came in the case with my Glock. And I'm going to put it in from the back of the barrel. When the gun goes bang, all the debris, all of the, bang and fire and everything, gunpowder, it's all going this way out of the barrel. So that's the same direction I want to put my patches in. So I'm just going to push it through. Ooh, yeah. See that? It's dirty. This means your gun is dirty. Okay? All right, so I'm just going to put that patch off to the side and I'm going to do another one. That one was nice and dirty. You know what that reminds me of? Your mom. So when you're running these patches through the barrel or on the slide or whatever the case is, you want to keep running it through until they start coming out clean. So before I go through the back of the barrel with the patches, I want to use my bore brush. If you have a bore snake, that works as well. The bore snake you just kind of push through and then pull out from the front of the barrel. This attaches to the tool that came with my Glock. I'm going to push it through the back of the barrel and just run it through about 5 or 6 times just to start to break up that debris that builds up inside the barrel. Cool, done. That's that. Now we're going to move to the patches. I actually meant to shoot my other barrel, not my one with the compensator on it, and I was like, I'm just going to shoot like 10 rounds there. There's a little bit of dirt and then we can move on. And I forgot to shoot with it. So this one's like for real dirty. All right, so should have about one more to go. Through the magic of editing, y'all didn't have to sit and watch me do all of those patches. Looks like this one is pretty clean. So that's what you want to see. You just don't see a lot of dirt and debris on the patch. So we're going to move on. I'm going to wipe the barrel with that patch since there's a lot of excess solvent on there. Look at that. So you want to get in the crevices of the barrel, back into here. This isn't fancy, just kind of get in there, wipe it. All right, now I'm wiping the barrel. There's not a whole lot left, except for just on this tip here. This barrel is going to look a little bit different to your barrel because this is an aftermarket barrel. It's a Radian ramjet with a compensator. I've been testing it out for a while. I'll talk about it later. But boom, I'm also going to wipe the compensator. Man, these videos be fast when you watch them. They really take forever. All right, so now we're going to move on. Now that we've wiped the barrel, I'm going to start on the frame. I'm going to let the barrel dry, and I'm going to do the same thing on the frame here. You see how dirty the frame is? Just grab a patch, put some gun bore solvent on it, and just wipe the frame. I don't even really get too busy on, oh, where are you wiping? Just wipe it. Be sure to get under all these metal areas. Down here near the trigger bar. Crossbar, or whatever you have on your gun. Your gun's going to be different slightly, but it's all the same. Like, it's all relatively the same. It doesn't matter if I have a Walther, a CZ, Glock, Canic, Sig. I do it all the same. But you will follow your manual because this is just how I clean guns. All right, now the frame is starting to look clean, so I'm going to put that down and I'm going to move to the slide. I'm letting everything dry and I'm just moving on. Remember, step one is just cover everything with gun bore solvent and your patch. If you have a Glock or something and you have some copper right here on this part, don't wipe it. Just let that wear naturally. That will start to dissipate over time as you shoot your gun. Okay, the slide's starting to look clean, so let's give it one more go. Just getting in the crevices here. Some people also use like little ear swabs to get into the nooks and crannies of their gun. That's cool too. So now I'm just going to move to the barrel because by this time the barrel has started to dry a little bit. You just want to give it a couple minutes, let that gun solvent dry, and I'm going to start adding lubricant. So I'm going to lubricate the barrel, the frame, and the slide. This guide rod, I don't do anything to. If it looks dirty, which it hardly ever does, then I'll just wipe it with a paper towel, but I don't put any gun bore solvent or any lube or anything on it. I just leave it how it is, but I'm just going to go back over everything with lubricant, and then we're going to be done. The lubricant that I'm using today is from Sig Sauer. It's called Spec 1. Great, whatever. Just use some lube. Not all lube is created equal, but I have yet to really notice any major difference with how my gun functions. But then again, I'm using a Glock, so you know, it just runs. Once again, same thing. Insert from the rear, push all the way to the front. So I'm not really seeing a lot of dirt and debris on the patch as I'm coating it with lubricant, but you're not really supposed to because it's already clean for the most part. We're just lubricating it. So just give it a few runs back and forth. All right, we're done on the inside. Now I'm going to coat the outside, making sure to get in the spots where The gun has a lot of friction parts. This barrel gets a lot of wear and tear shooting all these shots. And then when I'm also going over the barrel, this is a time to inspect the barrel, make sure that nothing has been cracked, make sure nothing looks weird, nothing looks out of place, which this does. This is great. All right, so barrel looks good, compensator looks good. I'm gonna move to the frame. It's easier for me, like when I first started cleaning my gun, like the first time it took me over an hour because I was trying to figure out how to take it apart, number one. Number two, it's like, oh, did I do everything right? Is it still gonna work? It's still gonna go bang? And you know, now it takes, depending on how dirty it is, maybe 15 minutes or so. But I just thought, I'm really only doing two things. I'm going over the slide, over the barrel and the frame with the solvent, and then going over those things with the lubricant, and then you're done. Shout out to Kendra. Always recommending some great music for me to listen to, like what you're listening to right now. Okay, so I lubed up the frame. I'm just gonna drop some lube right here. Boom. Put some down in there. Boom. And we're done. You don't need a lot of lube on that frame. You don't need a lot of lube on any of this. Okay, so everything is cleaned up. So now all I have to do is put it back together. So with Movie Magic, I'm gonna put it back together right now. The gun is put back together. There's lube all over it, so I'm just gonna wipe it. Just wipe any excess that you have. And then when I put the gun back together, some guys don't do this. I don't care. The gun's in my hand, it's my responsibility. I wanna make sure that it works should I need to use it, God forbid, to save my life. So what I'm going to do is rack it a few times, make sure that that works, and then I'm going to press the trigger once. Okay, I heard click. That's what I wanted to hear. Now I want to hear another click. So I'm going to rack the slide while keeping my finger pressed on the trigger, and I'm going to let off to the trigger reset. Okay, heard a second click. That's what I wanted to hear. And then third click. I hear all three clicks. My gun is good to go. And that's it. Now, how often do you clean your gun? Well, you're going to refer to your manual. Your manual will probably say after every time you shoot, which that isn't a bad idea. Especially if you're not used to taking your gun apart, you're not used to cleaning it. I would do it after every time you shoot. Even if you just go to the range and shoot a box of 50 rounds. Take it back home, clean it, because you're not used to cleaning it yet. You don't know what you're doing. Start learning. Then when it gets to the point that, you know, you're just taking it apart quick, cleaning it, it's quick and easy. I'm at that point and I tend to clean mine every 500 rounds. Now everybody's gonna have something else that they do, but that's what they do. So you figure out what you wanna do. But around 500 rounds is where I start to really feel when I'm shooting it and looking at the gun like, this gun's getting kind of dirty. It's a Glock, is it gonna run dirty? Yeah, that's what it's made for. But I would prefer it to be clean. So in the event of a situation where I need to defend myself, the gun doesn't malfunction because it was still created by men, still created by human beings. It could malfunction. And I would hate for that reason to be because it's dirty. So, hope you guys enjoyed that video. Appreciate you watching. Remember, no ammo around, gloves, be safe, practice good hygiene. 4 rules of gun safety still apply even when you're cleaning your gun. I'll see you on the next one. Romine.